everyone, Tanner Bell here, and welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. I am so excited for today's hack video because I am teaching you some amazing hacks regarding vinyl and heat transfer vinyl. We are going to cover both of those today in today's amazing hack video. If you love doing vinyl projects, heat transfer vinyl projects, I have some great new hacks to share with you to make your crafting even easier. And I even have some ways to maybe help fix a project if you've made a craft mistake in the past, which I don't know about you, but I have, so I think this one will be a great one. If you're excited for today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any guess of what hacks we are going to do in the comments right now. And if you're not already a member to our amazing membership, Maker's Gonna Learn, I have an exclusive opportunity for you in the description down below. So check that out, and I cannot wait to see you inside our membership. But if you're excited, let's jump into it. Hack number one is first seen on our TikTok, and this one right here I love because it is actually using a Dollar Tree mechanical pencil, and we are actually just taking the lid off of it, removing the lead, and we are placing a needle in here to create our very own pin tool. Y'all, it is just as easy as it sounds. So you drop the needle inside here and then start clicking, and you see the needle popping out, and we're gonna put our eraser back on. And now you're able to have a DIY weeding tool really easily. Is that not awesome? You don't have to buy a weeding tool, and you can make this for only $2, which is super incredible. Now that you have your very own pin tool, now I want to share with you how to use reverse weeding to your advantage. Anytime I recommend reverse weeding, it's actually for projects that are very complex, but for today's example, I've kind of made it a little bit larger just so that we could see it better on camera. So notice it looks like we have nothing to weed, and it's just a piece of vinyl. So reverse weeding is actually weeding after you've transferred it to the transfer tape rather than weeding on the mat or weeding the vinyl before the transfer tape. So we're doing it reverse, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to flip it over, and you can burnish the back. You can do anything like that. I'm gonna grab something to burnish the back right here. And as you burnish the back right here, you're going to see it is going to start sticking to your transfer tape. And as you can see, when you start peeling it back, you'll notice that it is sticking to the transfer tape. Now, if for some reason your vinyl is wanting to come up, just apply some pressure and try different angles. So I like to press it back down and then just continue to peel it up, just like so. And just press it down. You could, again, this could be a great indicator we need to burnish some more, so feel free to do that. And then look right here. Now I have one more piece, so we're gonna grab that DIY pin tool, and we're gonna be able to just peel up this last piece. This could happen, but if it does, no worries. So now you have your entire design exposed right here. So all of this is sticky. The first thing I like to do is just to go ahead and weed the main transfer piece right here. So I just like to peel this off. I've seen people do this really quickly before and just kind of rip it off like a Band-Aid, and it works, but for me, I get super nervous and I don't want to have anything, break and whatnot. So just be careful when you do this. All right, so now we're just being able to remove this, and as you can see with any intricate piece, you're able to weed it. And the beauty of this, let me show you again, is it's already stuck down. So you're not worried that your vinyl is going to come up because it makes it super easy to keep it stuck down on the transfer tape. So again, guys, for any intricate item that you are like, Tanner, I don't think I'll ever be able to weed it, I highly recommend this reverse weeding technique because you're gonna be able to weed it while it's still on the transfer tape, and you're getting a whole new look because now your vinyl is actually already on its transfer tape, and you're just removing the excess pieces rather than having to do it when they're not secured down on your mat and your vinyl backing. Your next craft hack is actually using a lint roller as transfer tape, again, if you're in a pinch. So you can take your lint roller, just like a traditional piece off the lint roller, you can take it right here, and you're gonna be able to apply it onto your already weeded vinyl. You definitely have to have a burnishing tool. This is super necessary. You're going to press it down, and then flip it around back, and peel up. And you won't believe it actually works as transfer tape if you're in a pinch. And I think this is so crazy because I think we all have a lint roller laying around that could help us make an amazing DIY Cricut project. And why even have to have transfer tape laying around when you've got your lint roller? So definitely give this hack a try. When I first saw it, I didn't think it would actually work. I didn't think it could be sticky enough, but believe it or not, it works and works really well. So I think you'll be impressed with it. This next vinyl hack is actually using parchment paper to help you position your design perfectly in the middle. And these cut files and fonts that you're seeing today are actually featured from Maker's Gonna Learn, where you have access to thousands and thousands of different die cut designs that you can have access to, fonts, and so much more. So as you can see, we've already cut this out and applied transfer tape. So I'm just burnishing and removing the backer, because we're actually going to add parchment paper, and I'm going to share with you how amazing it is to help us position it down, which I think you're going to be super impressed with. And this is something you'll definitely want to pull out of the kitchen to have in your back pocket in the craft room. So once you have your piece of parchment paper, we're just going to apply it down onto the vinyl. Just like this, and you're gonna be able to peel it up. And I'm just gonna cut out the excess because I feel like it's easier when there's not a ton of excess. You know, we don't wanna have to worry about anything more than we need to. So I'm just gonna cut this out. And I'm gonna share with you my #1 hack for using parchment paper. So now that we have the parchment paper applied to the backing, I can lay it down onto my project and actually see it before I actually adhere it down. So once you're able to, you know, position this down, it's super impressive because you are going to be able to go ahead and, you know, you can start peeling it back. You could do like 50%. You could, you know, peel this back like halfway. So look at this. So, you know, once you have it, feel free to peel it back like 50%, and you could line up the side that still have the parchment and make sure that's gonna be good to go down. And then again, make sure your other side's good. And when you apply this and you commit, like so, you can stick the side with the transfer tape down first, and just let that lay flat. And this is beautiful. This allows me, I don't know about you all, this makes me feel a lot more confident in my ability. So for example, you know, I first place it with the parchment paper down so I can see and make sure everything will fit perfect. Then I like to peel it back about 50% because I can position one side. I don't know about you, but for me, it's so hard for me to position all of it at one time, right? Because some things go move. But when you're able to position half of it, then you can simply peel this back slowly but surely and start applying the rest of it. And now you're going to be able to smooth this out just like so. And as you can see here, it's all laying flat. You can use your burnishing tool if there's any imperfections you need to work out. And then you're going to be able to apply all of this by burnishing. And when you're done burnishing and applying your vinyl transfer tape, you can simply just start removing your transfer tape. And there you have it, my friend. You have your monogrammed plate, and it is all good to go. And don't you love that parchment paper hack? It is so handy to have, especially when you're placing vinyl in hard to position objects like this one. Have you ever unloaded your mat and to start to weed your project just to find out that your Cricut actually didn't cut the material all the way through? If so, I have a hack for you that you absolutely need to try today. So after you've cut through your vinyl, before you unload it, all you want to do is find a corner and try to see if it's cut through. So for example, you could just like peel it through, and this one has cut through. So chances are my entire design is great. But if for some reason you're like, ooh, the vinyl didn't cut all the way through, since we haven't unloaded the Cricut from our mat, guess what? You can simply go ahead and press the play button again, and it's going to go through and cut perfectly in the same spot with more pressure. It's to go give another pass to make sure you have a high quality cut. Because remember, my friends, the secret to getting really easy weeding is actually having really firm pressure and making sure the vinyl cuts through all the way. That is my #1 tip for making sure you can weed easily, is making sure it cut all the way through. And we want to make sure we have as few craft fails as possible. All right, my friends, we're over at our heat press today, and this is something I want to share with you that I again saw over on TikTok, that you can actually weed HTV faster if you go ahead and heat up your mat first. So this is just giving some heat to our mat. And after you let this, warm up for a few seconds, we're at like a 365 temperature. I'm just gonna let it heat up that mat. And what you're gonna be able to do is a few things. You're gonna be able to, obviously have your HTV ready to weed. And then when you lift up, you're gonna be able to see that your mat is pretty warm. So you can place your heat transfer vinyl here, and you're going to notice that it becomes so much easier to weed. I mean, the HTV makes it so much easier. Now, some of you are saying, Tanner, I don't want you to get hit by the plate. Feel free to grab the mat down and place it, somewhere like this, so that you're not going to worry about, hurting yourself or getting heat everywhere. But let me tell you, my friends, I have never seen HTV so easy to weed than this right here. I mean, this is mind-blowing for the results. So just check this out. Your design is going to be able to weed so easily. Boom. I mean, look at this. I like to party, but by party, I mean craft. So that is so fun. You can see this is so easy to weed. And by the time you weed it all out, the heat mat is just warmed up enough. You're going to be able to apply it down and have a really fast craft. So as you can see, it is going to be so much easier to weed some of your harder HTV projects by, again, heating up your mat. You could do the same thing if you have a Cricut mat. You could do the same thing if you have the heat press. Whichever way you want, you're going to be able to have this quick hack to be able to weed all your HTV really easily. All right, my friends, have you ever had pieces of scrap HTV and never know what to do with it? What if I told you you could actually turn this into something super, super fun? So this is like a little confetti pouch that you're going to be able to make all while using pieces of scrap HTV. Now, you may think, Tanner, what do I do? Just cut up your HTV? Not so fast. What you want to do is grab your weeding tool and you want to peel back so you don't have the plastic layer. So peel this back just like so. I only reveal as much HTV as you actually think you would cut up into the confetti pieces. So what you'll do is just apply some. You could actually cut off the backer. I find it so much easier if you just cut off this backer real quick. And now what you'll be able to do is create a little pile just like so, cutting up little pieces of the confetti. So you're just gonna make your own little confetti right here. Super, super easy. And now you know that it's just HTV all cut up, and you can cut it as little or as large as you want. I recommend having, a good group of both. And what I really recommend is just having a few colors. So having some of this confetti, is really good to have on hand to do different things. I think it would be really fun to cut up a bunch of this and have a few different colors and then put it on the bag. And then after that's heated down, what you would be able to do is you would be able to add some like different text with black HTV, which would be super, super fun. So you can see we're just cutting this up here, and it's pretty simple. So after you've made a bunch of confetti, all you're going to do is grab it just like so, and it feels so interesting. You would grab it and just sprinkle some here, and then I like to, after I've sprinkled it, just kind of take my finger and start, you know, spreading it out just like so. Not hard at all to do. If you want more towards the bottom, you can put more down there. I like to have a thicker coat towards the bottom and then let it kind of sprinkle out. So as you can see on here too, it's a nice mix of designs. So once you have positioned your confetti the way you want it, you would head back over to the heat press. This is definitely where a Teflon sheet would come in super handy because there is no protective sheet for your HTV. So yes, the confetti is awesome, but you want to use some type of protectant sheet to protect your heat plate. So the Teflon sheet comes in handy. And then, you know, after you have heat set that, it is going to be good to go. You could add another layer or anything like that. We actually finished it. I can move these pieces real quick and show you what it'll look like at the end. So it just becomes adhered down, and it's super, super easy and looks really, really good to have a fun HTV confetti look. Y'all, this is the hack to have if you've been eyeing those mandala designs that are all connected on the Makers Gonna Learn website, but you're like, Tanner, I don't wanna have to weed that out. I have a hack for you, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. It is simply cutting your heat transfer vinyl out on a cardstock setting. So what is going to happen? It is actually cutting through your entire heat transfer vinyl, meaning it is cut through the backing, everything, okay? So we can remove that. You can see here on the mat, all of this design is cut out. So you can quickly peel it up just like so, and no weeding is required. Y'all, look at this. All you have to do, make sure that your pieces come out, and the results may vary for that part. Like sometimes they all stay on the mat, sometimes they don't. It definitely depends. So you just grab through, make sure all of these are out. And let me tell you, making sure these pieces are out is a heck of a lot easier, quicker, and better than having to weed all of these pieces and end up having a huge craft fail. How many times have you tried to weed an intricate project like this and then end up messing up the design? I don't know about you, but it's happened to me a lot. So look at this. We're just making sure all these pieces are out. And then here's the beauty of it. It still has its protective sheet. So you could just go ahead and lay this straight onto a design, this design onto a shirt or something, and heat it down just like normal. What's going to happen is after it's heat set, you're going to be able to peel up that plastic protective sheet and you're good to go. It is that easy, just using a cardstock setting on an amazing mandala just like this one. This next heat transfer vinyl hack is very similar to our last one, so I really want you to get close and pay attention. So look right here. We cut another piece of a design out using that amazing setting, which is the cardstock setting, cutting through all of the HTV. So you can now apply this down onto your design, just like so. There's another piece that I don't want to lose, so I can position this down and have this ready to go. I'm manually positioning this down, which is kind of, not the fun part of having this cardstock setting, is you have to manually place, but it's super quick. So once you've placed your cardstock piece, you can see this is the other part of the design that you come in here and place down. And just like so, now you're able to heat set this right here in one press. And again, since we used the cardstock setting, notice that the protective sheet is still on our burnt orange design right here. So again, your heat transfer vinyl is protected really easily. You could use anything right here like a mini EasyPress, and you can see how easy it is to heat set that. So we're just going to heat set this right here. Super easy, few seconds around your design. The mini EasyPress is the only heat press that is designed to be able to actually move around on a surface. So we're just applying this down really easily here. And if you've never used iron-on wood, I highly, highly recommend it. And then when you peel it up, look at how amazing. Oh my goodness, it was so quick, so easy. And honestly, this is so functional. I highly recommend you guys to try this at home. And now I'm just getting this last little piece, making sure the transfer paper comes up, and look at that. Peeled up like a charm. But notice I was able to get 2 different colors of heat transfer vinyl down onto a piece of wood really, really easily. Now, if you're anything like me, there have been times that you have tried your best to make sure your project is perfect when you apply it onto your t-shirt, but for whatever reason, you actually need to peel up the heat transfer vinyl from a fabric. Let me share with you my really easy way to do this without any additional product. We are just using heat from our mini EasyPress. So I'm going to place my mini EasyPress inside of the t-shirt, and then look right here, we're going to hold this just on whatever piece we need. And I'm on like a level 2 to a level 3 setting, and it is swiveling up. And as it does that, look right here, you're going to be able to, without damaging the fabric, quickly peel up your HTV, just like that. And again, you could do this for the entire project and not damage your shirt at all. So if you ever misplace something, if you ever have any mistake you need to quickly fix, this one is so good to have in your back pocket, because I used to have to recommend a really one expensive material, but a chemical that was not healthy for you. And now you're able to do the same process with just heat. And notice that, you know, I just kind of keep the shirt wrapped around the heat press. And as you know, it's sat on there for 2-3 seconds at level 3, you're able to then just peel it up. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible with the heat transfer vinyl. And then look at that. Wow. You're able to peel this up time and time again. It is so easy. I think if there's one hack that you try today, definitely have this one in your back pocket for the next time you may make a mistake and you want to redo a HTV, but you don't have another shirt to do it on. My friends, we have been able to share with you so many different amazing craft hacks for using heat transfer vinyl or traditional vinyl with your Cricut crafting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Maker's Gonna Learn channel for more DIY videos and Cricut hacks. We love, love, love sharing with you every single week brand new videos, so definitely stay tuned for more. If you haven't checked out our membership, remember I have a special gift for you in the description down below, so go ahead and claim that. It is yours, and I cannot wait to see you in our member-only community, Maker's Gonna Learn. Until the next video, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.